Hi folks, this is Klaus at Top Hydraulics. I want to talk to you a little bit about troubleshooting the hydraulic system, just the basics. Either your top doesn't work or you see some leaks on the floor, like in front of or behind the rear tires, or your pump is making some weird gurgling, loud, unusual noises. So typically, if you've owned your Crossfire for a while, you can tell when you're running out of fluid on the pump because the sound of the pump changes. It just gets louder because once it sucks air, it cavitates, it's louder. And if you don't notice it, then at some point your top won't finish its opening or closing sequence completely. At about the same time, you will also find oil in front of or behind the rear tires about 6 inches in from the outside of the car, and about maybe 6 inches into the body here. There are drains in the front and in the rear on both sides. If, for example, your main lift cylinders are leaking, they are leaking exactly above the rear wheel well, and typically the fluid will come out in the front, but it can also come out in the rear. Depending on the slope your car might be parked in, or the fluid may actually even divide itself evenly. Anyway, first thing you want to do if you think that your system is low on fluid, you want to check the fluid level in the pump. Now we have a separate video that shows you how to check the fluid level. You basically open the trunk, take a carpeted panel out, look at the reservoir. If you find that the reservoir on the pump is low, then you have a leak. Meaning if the fluid level is below the minimum marker, then you have a leak in the system and you need to find that leak. You can temporarily make the top work, but not for long, by refilling the pump. It's basically an exercise in futility. So you could fill the pump a little bit just so that it will open the tonneau cover and the rear bow to about this position so that you can check your cylinders for leaks. The first cylinders to leak are normally the main lift cylinders, and they will be leaking on the bottom where you don't expect it. They leak through the bottom mounting hole where the bottom mounting pin goes in, and first thing you would think it's a hydraulic hose. No, it's not a hose, it's actually the cylinder itself leaking. There are 7 seals inside these aluminum cylinders, and typically the first ones to leak are on the bottom, but it doesn't stop there. Eventually most of the seals in these cylinders will fail. Now these cylinders, their expected service life is about 15 years, so pretty much every Crossfire, if the cylinders haven't failed yet, will fail very soon. If the main lift cylinders are leaking, you will be tempted to do only the main lift cylinders. Well, eventually other cylinders like the rear bow cylinders will leak. When they leak, they can actually stain your canvas, so that's not a good idea to hold off too long. Fortunately, our videos show you how to remove all of these cylinders, and it's pretty simple. With patience and persistence, you will be able to swap all these cylinders yourself. You can get the parts from Top Hydraulics, just swap the cylinders and you have a leak-free system again. Or you might have a problem in the pump. Number one failure mode for the pump is it gets drenched in water because you had leak through the weather seal somewhere. If the pump has been swimming in water, then it's quite possible that the solenoids on it are bad, and or the motor is bad, and that needs to be replaced or rebuilt by Top Hydraulics. We rebuild all these parts to make them better than new. But anyway, I get a little bit sidetracked here. We were talking about troubleshooting the system. So if you manage to get the rear bow up and the tonneau cover open with a pump, good. If you did not get it done with a pump, you use our videos on manually opening the top, and you stop at about this position. You feel the bottom of the main lift cylinders. If anything is oily, wet down there, then you have a leak. Don't even bother replacing only one cylinder. They always fail in pairs. And as I just said, really you should do all 7 cylinders at the same time, because it never stops with just 1 or 2. And it's not a bad thing. It happens to every modern convertible. that these cylinders fail. It's just part of the cost of owning a convertible. Think of it this way: if you take care of it properly, then you never have to worry about this top again, except if you get a whole bunch of water on the pump. Well, you may want to take care of your weather seals in the trunk as well. And which other failures can we have here hydraulically? Obviously, the pump itself can wear out, can go bad. It does happen. And if you find no leaks, your electrical system is okay, and the pump is running but just doing a very poor job of moving the top, then you have a bad pump. At that point, it's time to send it in for a rebuild, or order one from us in Core Exchange. Costs the same in the end. We send you a pump first, filled with fluid, then you send back your old one. And same on the cylinders, only we don't ship the cylinders filled with fluid. So we have videos on replacement of all of these parts. It's easy, easy, easy. So hope this helps, and good luck.